That there is a rubber chicken that makes sounds like this. This here is a Thomas & Friends Take and Play playset, copyright 2012/2013. It was $20 at my local Kmart. It's a bit of a Thomas from a bygone era. Ooh, but I also noticed this playset just appear at my local Kmart also for $20. I'm thinking, wow, a whole playset like that for $20 versus a playset like that for $20. Let's try and find out the value between this and this Thomas playset. Okay, chickens, okay, settle down. Stop. You guys are making too much noise. See you later. Don't you hate it when rubber chickens try to take over the video? Reg and the Scrapyard. This actually looks very awesome. It is very well priced. Thomas Adventures. I'm not familiar with this. I think this is the Thomas from the Thomas Collectible Railway. And people said, Leo, you won't see that style of Thomas because you'll always get the one with the magnet couplings. Well, this here is in the same marketplace as this here. And as far as I know, that Thomas there will not connect to this Thomas here or the rolling stock there. Thomas & Friends Adventures, noticing it doesn't say Take and Play anymore, just showing you the box artwork there. You can read the bubbles of information there. It looks pretty awesome if you ask me. It says that over 25 pieces. What's that down there? YouTube Kids. Well, that won't include me. Apparently I'm not kid friendly. I do like the artwork there, the diorama behind the rolling stock and Thomas there. It says metal engine. If we take a look at the back of the box, it will reveal to us more wonderment of how they've set this up to make it look very appealing. It looks like you build up the scrap monster there. Nice picture of the playset there, showing that Reg does spin around with the load he's picked up. And remember, this sort of toy is designed for very young children. Now, I really think this looks like excellent value, and I say that because when I look at the front of the box here, if you're going to go and buy a Thomas all by itself, mind you, I haven't seen this style of Thomas yet as an individual Thomas, but one like this is basically a $10 toy in Australia. So here is, well, not only a Thomas, but a bit of rolling stock and a playset for $20. I think it's grand value. Lots of people who watch my YouTube channel were talking about this new style of Thomas, and I never thought I'd see it in Australia, I'll be quite honest there. So $20 for that toy there, and in the same marketplace, at the same shop, on the same day, this set here was $20, and really it's a bit of a step back in time because it's Take and Play where you had a fold-up playset with a handle on top, a nice Thomas there, and on the back of the box it also looks very awesome. Just looking there, there's actually a playset I never saw in the stores in Australia, and I saw the tote box and I saw the Brendan docks, but I never saw the twist and tumble cargo drop. I always like little dioramas they have set up around here because it really does make the toy look far more awesome in store, doesn't it? Let me just unbox this, and these can be a little bit tricky to get out. And keep these because you can make ghost Thomases and stuff. I've shown that heaps of times on my channel before. Come on, Thomas. Behind, hard to get. And in a funny way, this is one way of getting back to the classic Take and Play Thomas before it sort of all went stupid with very dumb magnets. That is the Thomas, well, before it started to go very evil. Noticing it's got the full-size cab, it's got the two-way magnets and everything. Yes, don't get me ranting. And just to understand when Thomas had a proper size cab and nice magnets, let's take a look at the date under here. You got to get this right. 2012 Mattel. Don't ask for any dates after that. Underneath the box is a couple of different dates. I'm looking at copyright 2012-2013 Mattel, and it also says made in China with some components made in Thailand. Wow, real mixed bag. Take-alongs and take and plays. Absolutely nothing wrong with that Thomas toys, I can tell you. I've had lots of those in our place over the years. Lots of fun, and there were some really, really awesome playsets, and also some which weren't so awesome, but hey, let me just try and work out how this opens up. If I can work it out. Maybe I need to read the constructions. It's open. Okay, after a bit of reassembling there, mind you, it's fun to smash them around. There it is there. It's a nice little playset. There's Thomas there, and you can spend hours and hours just dreaming your Sodor dreams playing like this. One thing I did laugh at was, look at the Sticker Friday going on here. That must have been the part made in China, because I'm pretty sure Thai people would get it right. Nice little sawmill there. Nice colours and everything on this piece here. And of course the red handle, which I think is very Take and Play-ish. I don't mind that at all. It does fold up. The way I opened it up was a bit unfair. It actually folds up nicely and it'll go inside here once you unclip that or something like that. I don't know. I like this. It's very much a bit of a, you know, a look back in time, and of course I did the right thing, and I can do an invisible cloak on my Thomas because I know you like it like that. Maybe one thing that I didn't like about these playsets was it uses a very special style of track. And if I take one of the pieces out, you can see there are the hinges there that form the playset. And if you are missing a piece, you can't use your normal take and play track to fill in the gap. You always need to use those very strange specialized pieces of track. But hey, on this playset, there are areas here where you can join your Mattel version of the track and also your learning curve version of the track to have some awesome Thomas fun. With the advent of the Thomas Minis, one of the most popular blind bag toys in the market, I think one of the best. With take and play track, it would run only if you straddled it to either side, picking the sweet spot. If you tried to run it up the middle, the Thomas Mini has got a very, very low clearance with that sort of thing they've designed under there. But what was very frustrating was the Thomas Minis really couldn't connect to the Thomas Take and Plays, his Thomas of his invisible cloak, which has just been blown away. The magnetic couplings on these could never union with a Thomas Mini, and I think many people were frustrated by that. And sure, that might be a bit of a big ask, and people say, oh, but Leo, that's a Take and Play and that's a Thomas Mini, and they're never going to talk to each other. But hey, wouldn't it be nice if they did? I always think back to years back when I started my YouTube channel. I looked at a toy like this, the Chuggington diecast. What was the biggest problem with this toy here? It never connected to the most popular little toy train at the time, and in the end, what happened to Chuggers? Poof, they've gone now. I mean, that's history. That's toy history for you. I know the Thomas Minis can be played out like this. Often you'll see a child will set up a separate rollway, and they'll set it up as the narrow gauge engines versus the standard gauge engines. That's the magic of the Thomas Minis versus the Take and Plays. I think it was important to have that little chat, an important little history lesson of things of the past, and I'll push this to the side here now, and we'll get into this new Thomas Adventures playset. Here it is, the Thomas Adventures. Reg and the Scrapyard are coming in for the unboxing now, and we'll get Thomas out first. See how hard it is to get this plastic bubble off. Wow. That was extremely easy, actually. Oh, Mattel, you need to do a better job than that, or else Thomases are going to get stolen. Okay, let's get this out. Thomas with the hook there. He's lost his magnet. He looks like a take and play, although there's no take and play. He's set on the box, and he's got a nice bit of rolling stock there, which is part of Scrap Monster, apparently. Okay, I've actually taken a look at one of these in another video. Well, the coupling system, there are things that I like, and there's a few things I don't like. I suppose I could keep this as a bit of a double invisible cloak, couldn't I? I better do that, or else he'd be screaming, I want to see the invisible cloak again, Leo! Okay, I've just taken a snip away from the bottom of this. Okay, now you see Thomas, now you don't. Now you see Thomas, now you don't. Okay, invisible cloak done. I just noticed in that diorama section, look at that, the track's got a different coupling system to Take and Play. Ooh, it's going to be spooky, isn't it? I'm actually having trouble opening this box. I need a friend. Oh, the chicken is opening up that box beautifully. Yeah! As chickens always do. Okay, let me get the stuff out of this box. I'll just... So the stuff in bags here, there is the constructions there. Because we are men, guess what? We don't need those. Whooshka! More bags of stuff here. What? The rubber chicken's still here. I don't want you in this video anymore. Get away from me. Go! Rubber chicken takes control every time I'm over that thing. Ooh, okay. This looks different to Take and Play altogether. First time I've seen this, and trying to get this stuff out of the bags. I'm trying not to be negative here, boys and girls, and I really struggle. Well, I've got rid of the bag, and I'm just looking over this in confusion because I really need those constructions back. Seems like a lot of pieces here. Look, what did the box say again? Let me get that box. Okay, what does it say? Over 25 pieces. Let's count it up. What I've done here is I've divided it up into what I call important parts of a railway. That is the track. Thomas with the rolling stock is in between, and then there are the other bits and bobs to the playset, which I don't call as important, because as years roll on you may lose those parts, and then your playset can't be built. Let's count these parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 of what I call the good stuff. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, and 34. Because I threw the constructions away in a stupid man rage, I'll use the artwork on the back of the box to build the playset. The track pieces do have identifiers on there, so if you do use the constructions and you haven't had a man rage, well, you can clearly identify each piece of track. And let me just start assembling this and give you my first thoughts about this track system. I've built up many a toy track system in my YouTube career, and I've got a bit of a feeling for what's good and what's bad. I'll tell you, there's actually one thing I noticed about this that I like. Look at that, I can pick it up and it doesn't fall apart. Now, take and place track used to be horrible. When you used to pick it up, it used to just fall to pieces. Hey, that's not bad at all. Not bad at all. I like it like that. This is actually coming together rather nicely. The girders have got like little prongs in them that fit up under the track. Very hard to do it single-handedly here. I'm trying to do my best for you. And for Mr. Mattel, who doesn't like me. If I push it down like that, hey, look at that. It feels nice. I tell you what, it doesn't fall apart. I quite like it. The playset's got elevation, so you can imagine the train comes up here, it goes here, and it's going to roll down here. Then you've got to add these extra bits to the curve, so, well, Thomas doesn't take a spill. But sometimes all the fun is when trains go wrong, hey? I know that's the way my son used to like seeing Thomas. He just loved seeing Thomas go wham. I've built Reg up here. It is actually a very simple playset to build. You don't need your constructions. It almost builds itself, but in saying that, it's a bit of a lie. And then there is this piece here, and I think it's like a rampy thing that you can tilt to deliver a load. I'll tell you what, I've just finished the playset, and I'll have to admit, I actually rather like the look of that. I'll just get Thomas and make him hop on the line here. The new coupling system is rather nice because you don't lose your engines like you do with the magnet system. I'll give him a bit of a feel on here. Wow, it actually feels pretty good, you know. Pretty good. And I'll drive him up here, across the top there, and whooshka. He's almost, I can see why they put the side bits on, because he would go over on his side. It feels good. I like it a lot. It actually feels very nice. Now, if I was going to drive Thomas up here to where Reg is, and let's just see how that crane works out in picking up and delivering loads. Okay, park Thomas there. Reg can move around like that. His little arm can go up and down as well. And it took me a little while to work it out, but because I don't have the constructions. To remove parts of Scrap Monster, it's more of a pinch your fingers down beside and it'll drop the piece down. Okay, these things don't actually move, and I'll sort of explain it when Thomas does a pickup. The way that he works is there's a hole up inside the hook there, or his claw, and it's a matter of just getting the right spot. It's a bit of a sweet spot, interference fit there, and if you pull Reg up and hold the carriage down, I wonder if there's going to be a massive far reel on this video. Hey, you can actually get the load, and if you spin it around, hopefully Reg doesn't come away from the playset. I'm just going to spin the playset around here like this. You can do this, you can drop down. Thomas has taken off. I can do that. Okay, that's how it works, boys and girls. And as Thomas comes along here, we'll also see there is a lever here where the Scrap Monster's scrap heaps are, and you can tilt that and it'll deploy it down to here. And of course you can have the fun in reverse. You can build Scrap Monster up. I don't know which way he goes because I have lost the constructions. Is that right? Oh, you'll be screaming at me if I'm wrong, and Reg can come along and pick it up, okay? Oh dear, and Thomas can drive around. That's all the fun. Children don't get hung up like adults do, I tell you. And all the fun, eh? I actually like this playset. Thomas can come up here and he'll get a delivery. And I've got to show how it all works, or you'll be saying, but Leo, you never showed us how wonderful the playset is. I'm playing with it. I'm actually having fun, and I think if that's happening, you're going to have fun as well. I'm sure of it. And you can deliver the Scrap Monster like that. And then, very carefully moving the playset, because Thomas likes to take off, Thomas can have a grand adventure down around the playset. Yeah, I like this. Actually, I actually like it a lot. Yeah, it's sort of screaming to be played with, this toy. I like that. Yeah, Thomas runs around freely. I'm actually a bit curious. I'll take off these parts here, if I can get them out again, and give Thomas a hell ride. Don't tell me they lock in. Oh, it's got that plastic which latches around those. It's a bit of a... I prefer it if these came off easily, then you could have more random fun. Let the audience answer that one, hey? Maybe Mr. Mattel's watching. Maybe he doesn't watch because he's never spoken to me in 10 years. Chuffer, chuffer, chuffer. I've quickly made up a circuit of Thomas & Friends Take and Play track there. I've got lots and lots of that, and nothing wrong with that track system. And that is, of course, the original Scrapyard playset I've just built. Now look at this. And I alluded to this before. I can pick up the whole playset, and it doesn't fall apart. Wow, that scores a lot of points of me when I see that, because your mum or your dad might say, get the toys off the floor, we're going to do a clean-up. Well, you don't lose your playset when you pick it up. With the Take and Play stuff, when you went to pick this up, guess what happened? That's what happened every time. It just fell to pieces. It was always devastating when you went to try and move this, and you may have had a massive railway set up, and all of a sudden it was in pieces. Now there's one thing that's starting to worry me. The Take and Play track system, as you can see, it's actually wider than this track system here. Ooh, let's just see what fits on this. Fluffy's actually interested when I do these toy reviews. She's often curious about what's up on the table. I wouldn't lie to you at all, would I, hey? Never about Fluffy. We never lie about what Fluffy likes and dislikes. Look at the nitty gritty now. The old Take and Play track is a totally different coupling system to this track here, this new track. The Thomas Mini that I showed earlier, which could straddle either side here and happily run along, it's sadly a little bit of a different story on this track here, and let me show you. It's always a big ask to get things all working together, although I do like it when it does, and the Thomas Mini doesn't ride as nicely to the sides of this track as with the Take and Play. In the middle, it's an interference fit. You can't get the wheels to roll. That's a real shame, and I'll show you the reason why next. One really nice feature about this coupling system, which doesn't rely on magnets, is I can actually connect up a Thomas Mini onto this Thomas here, and I can drive him away. And the children won't stop at just one Mini, they'll want to put extra ones on as well. Let's just take this Thomas for a very careful drive around here. Oh, we just lost a troublesome truck. Well, that's why they're called troublesome trucks. And we'll see how long this lost another troublesome truck. We'll see how long the merry-go-round lasts for. And I think we can start to see that, unfortunately, the Thomas Minis aren't as happy on this railway as it is with the Take and Play track, which is sort of sad indeed. And it's something totally extreme and from a bygone era almost. How about some beautiful Ertl troublesome trucks on this railway? Now I'm pretty sure this will connect to Thomas. And seeing an Ertl connect to the newest form of Thomas the Tank is quite alarming. Okay, Thomas is away, and there go the troublesome trucks. And I'll tell you this, the trucks are actually not really riding the tracks properly. They're sort of scuffing along, and we've lost 2 trucks there. Going over the top here, that's the problem with elevated sets, isn't it really? Mind you, I am trying to do the impossible here. And Thomas will come along with that troublesome truck that he's dragging along and give these ones the biffo. Out of the way, you troublesome trucks, you're nothing but trouble. It'll ride straight over the top of them. Go, Thomas, go. He's a complete and utter hero. But the problem with the troublesome truck and the Ertl ones, they had an extremely low clearance underneath there. Let's give the Sodor fuel wagon a go. It had a much better chance, I think, of working on this track system. I've connected up 2 tankers there, and away Thomas goes. Totally awesome this Thomas can connect to Ertl. It's going to get a lot of people excited. I've just lost a fuel wagon. Doesn't like going up the hill there, but I've still connected one there. Yeah. Okay, you know what's going to happen next? There's going to be a massive explosion. Thomas flies up in the air with the fuel wagon, comes back down, slow motion. That was a shocking explosion, Thomas. Can you imagine the collateral damage? And yeah, that new coupling system, you know what? I don't mind it at all. And we should give the chuggers a go. This is from the stack track era, in a sense. This is the one with the metal underneath and the plastic tops. And oh, there's Thomas there. Thomas is now a complete train wreck. These chuggers feel actually rather nice in this playset, and I'll give them a free spin down the hill here. Oh yeah, it's playing actually very nice, and maybe a little bit too nice. It's not getting clutched up on the corners. One more run down here. Yeah, stunning work. Yes, I'm actually very much liking that playset there in the track system. It's actually reminding me of a track system I saw in a knockoff set. These sorts of Thomas toys apparently are seen all up through Asia and other parts of the world, but not Australia. Mind you, people said to me I'd never see that Thomas there in Australia, and there he is. Okay, let me just get out one of the pieces of track here. I think it's the same. Let's just pull this apart here. Okay, pull that section right out. Very ugly, wasn't it? And see if I can clip this in. Oh, look at that. It is the same type of coupling. Yeah, that's very weird. Mind you, that knockoff set, how much was that again? I think I've got the price tag on it somewhere. There's that dreaded boulder there. That was boulder, that pink and white thing. The price I paid for that, there it is there. $15. What a rip-off. I'm going to get these guys off because I know the next question you'll ask, well, what about the Thomas from that horrible knockoff set? Well, there it is there. Okay. Oh, that sound. And it gets caught up there. It doesn't like those corner bits. Let's see if I just do the hill climb here. Oh, only just. No, it's a failed Thomas, but hey, if you had a face like that, well, how can you be anything but a failed Thomas? Well, Thomas, let's get things back on track. We're starting to get a bit derailed here. What I'd like to do is make a final comparison of this $20 Thomas Adventures playset. I'll just push it to the side there, and I'll just drag over the Take and Play Sodor Lumber Mill playset there. Where's Thomas? I can't see him. Oh, that's right, he's got his invisible cloak on. Oh, that's better. There's Thomas there. That playset versus that one there. Oh my goodness me, if ever there was a chalk and cheese shot on my YouTube channel, there is one there. Both the playsets cost $20, bought in the same day in the same store in Sydney, Australia. The Thomas Adventures playset is much larger than the Take and Play Sodor playset up the front here. Probably the shining light in this playset here is the fact we've got one of the older style Thomases when he had his cab. There's going to be a lot of people who are going to struggle to let go of the idea of a toy which is like that. Yeah, maybe part of me would be like that as well. And also this style of playset, which is, remember, Take and Play. The Thomas Adventures playset, I really think this is a positive move in selling these sorts of toys. I'm impressed with it, and I like to fiddle and play with it. That's a good sign. I actually don't mind the coupling system, but I'd really yet to see more of it on the market and how much of it will be available in Australia. I wouldn't know because nobody speaks to me. The playability in this playset is actually very good, I feel, although it's a little bit fiddly, but children love to fiddle and play with things in a very different way. Overall, I tell you what, if you see that playset and you're thinking of buying it for a small child, yeah, I think it'd be a very good move. I'm really pleased that I saw these two toys on the shelf at the same time at the same price. I think it makes a very worthwhile comparison. It might open your eyes a little bit as well. And I'm hoping you see the positive things about the radical changes that have gone on, in particular for the fact there's only a couple of years difference between these two playsets. I think Mattel are moving in the right direction here. But of course, I always let my audience have the final say. A lot of my audience have a history of Thomas & Friends toys far grander than I do, and I always listen very carefully to what they have to say. I'm sure they're going to be very vocal on this video, I can tell you. And the other thing I have to do is let my son take a look at this playset. He has not seen the new style of Thomas yet, which doesn't have the magnets. I'll be very curious to see his reaction to what's going on there. Hey, I better leave this video here. It's probably a little bit too long for stupid YouTube these days. As always, thanks for watching, and bye for now. Well, I might add this bit of trivia up the end here. One thing I noticed about this playset is if you make up a self-styled boulder, I've made that out of blue tack or poster tack, given it a great big grumpy face, you can have a great little game of, well, Thomas and the boulder. There you go. Hours and hours of family-friendly fun. Thomas and the boulder. This is an important bit of info I've worked out in relation to Thomas and Friends Adventures, and I finally found, I haven't got many of these, just an individual Thomas by itself. That's the packaging that you'll see. Noticing nowhere does it say take and play. On the back it looks like that. Looks like there's some other characters that will be available. And the one surprise to me, and it's a nice surprise, is that toy there only cost me $6. That's in Sydney, Australia. It may be less in the USA or other countries. The packaging that came before that Thomas looked like that, and that Thomas that I'm shaking there was a $9 or $10 toy. If you went to the wrong store, a $12 toy. So we've really seen a massive price reduction. There was also another variation that looked like that as well. That might have been something you'd seen when you're looking for Thomas Take and Plays. So get your head around that packaging. I found this stock in amongst Take and Plays. It's a little bit shorter in format. With the cardboard, if I bring up just the other one there, you'll see that it is shorter in format. So on the pegs, it can sometimes look a little bit awkward. But you have to look very carefully. Maybe just look for that bright signage there. Now, in relation to the playset at the back there that this video is about, one thing the playset was missing was actually track adapters to go between Take and Play to this new Thomas and Friends Adventures track. And this leads us to this pamphlet that I found in a toy store which wasn't selling any Thomas and Friends Adventures, which is basically the gospel from Mattel about what exactly is going on. And the pamphlet reads, before introducing Thomas and Friends Adventures, we're saying goodbye to Thomas and Friends Take and Play, with a tear in my eye. There's a read there about the tracks. You can read that, but most of the things it says there, I'm pretty sure I pointed out in this toy review. I wish I had this document before I made the video. And there's a read about the new engines, and it says the diecast engines have what they're calling a clip connection. It says that it's a stronger connection than magnets, and it says you can create longer trains, and I'm pretty sure I alluded to that in this toy review. And then there is this really, really important read here, and Mattel are not putting up smoke screens or playing games, they're being very honest with the consumer. It's a very important thing to read. Let me read it for you. About adapter packs. These products have some similarities, but are not designed to be compatible. Let me read that line again. Not designed to be compatible. To support this transition, we have created an adapter pack that includes 2 Take and Play, 2 Adventure Track adapters, and 10 magnet-to-clip engine connectors. Through 2017, our customer service team can order this adapter pack, and there's a little picture of the blah blah and a number you need to call, and it says, with an asterisk there, limited quantity available. So I'm really glad I found this. There may be a website up about this thing here, but I do query and wonder why that information isn't on the constructions that I threw away. Nowhere on this was any information related to what I just read on that pamphlet. And I don't know, it seems like the headless chicken has reappeared. Now, it had me scratching my head wondering, why doesn't this new playset, Thomas Adventures playset, have those bits of boogie that you really need to connect to your Take and Plays? They really are moving on, I feel. But I've got a conspiracy theory here, and we all like conspiracy theories. That little piece there, which is the magnet to clip connector, would be very, very similar to, remember this horror box here from that playset, that Take and Play playset, the jungle thing? It's going to be like that there, okay, which went on like this. Okay, but on the other side, it's going to have one of those. And my biggest fear with anything like that is it becomes a huge potential to be a choking hazard, because with children, often, their siblings who may be younger, and if you have a little piece like this running about, imagine it. It's got a cup on that side, it's got like a little hook on the other, and it goes here. I would hate to think what happens if something like that goes down the throat of a very young child. And I'm pretty sure that little piece there won't be able to pull much weight. It'll just unclip itself from the magnet. It's more of an interference fit rather than magnetic. And what it won't help you with is trying to connect classic Take Along or Take and Play. We like using the word classic, don't we, boys and girls? To that there. Maybe blue tack is the answer. And one last thing about this Adventures track, now I know the name of it, now I found that pamphlet. Nothing like doing no research, is there? Thomas Wooden Railway on this track. Yes, it does fit. I have tried it around the curves. Maybe some people can put some longer trains on there if they can find this track. Yeah, it doesn't fit by much, but at least it's on there. And I mean, imagine the screaming if Thomas Wooden Railway didn't fit in this track. Thank goodness it does. I think it's really important to have had that discussion and shown that, because I noticed there was a lot of things being said online and it's actually not the truth, sadly. I think this is a great move forward. Yes, I think, you know, we all love the things from the past, but I think we all hated that magnet. I think Mattel have had a major awakening and maybe a scare for the fact that this toy had gone off the boil. The revelation of this being such a cheap toy now, and that playset there being such a good price, I mean, really, I can't see it as being anything negative. I hope this clears up exactly what Thomas and Friends Adventures is all about. That there is a rubber chicken that makes sounds like this. Wake up, chicken. And then if you look at the way this works, it's the poles on the pieces of cargo. That's on the fail wheel, Reg. And if you get it right, you can get the load, and it's like an interference fit there, and it'll pick up the load like that, boys and girls. Thomas, that's fail reel. Okay, Reg, show us how your little... Thomas has just taken off. That's on the fail reel as well. Come on, guys, start playing with me.